You may well recognise this as being the A614 behind me, and the Clumber Hotel is just 100 yards up the road there. This is Platybunus pinetorum country, and the last time I came here I didn't actually film it because it was just a brief visit. I ended up with 16, but you may well have seen me just looking at the two trees then. That's because they're literally full of pinetorum. There's three on that small sycamore down there, all on the same, or the largest of the trunks, and all within about 2 feet from each other. On this trunk here, there's 5. So we're already onto a count of 8. This should be a good day. So if you like your Platybunus pinetorum, this is the video for you. Quite amazing that there's such good numbers here. I can't remember seeing what's now back to being called Rileyana triangularis, which is a Harvestman that up until a few weeks ago was Platybunus triangularis, after originally being Rileyana triangularis for a number of years. I do hate taxonomists at times, but it looks like we're going to get really good numbers of Platybunus pinetorum, and the best outcome today, apart from being a nice high count, would be to find a male amongst all this lot. Males are as rare as hen's teeth in the UK, the Platybunus pinetorum. You never know, we might be lucky. The males are darker, the abdomen is narrower, probably smaller and more pointed. Quite a different looking animal, but yet to find one in Nottinghamshire. There's another 3 Platybunus pinetorum here. 2. How much? 4. 2 just there. Another one on the side and another one round the back. I don't think I'm going to have enough fingers for today. In fact, there's 5 on here. There's another one that I hadn't seen sneaks around there, but there's the 2. That one quite small compared to that one, but all 5 on here are indeed females. Well, there seems to be multiple counts on every smooth bark beach that I've looked at so far. This is the 4th tree, and on this side alone there are another 5, and I haven't even looked. But the one on the right of the screen is more advanced. It's very much a molt ahead of this one here. It's also larger, but has a lovely grey tint to it. They all seem to be quite active, or have been recently, and I imagine that they've been disturbed by the rain and brought round to this side, which is a drier side. In fact, there's 3 here, because there's another one to the side up from that one. There is a total of 8 pinetorum. Not seen anything like this. Say this is the 4th tree that I've checked since the car is only just over there, 30 yards away. And we have two quite high up. There's one here, there, and then a couple of others elsewhere on the tree. Quite astounding. Well, it is just unbelievable. I'll count to 41 till I've come up to this tree, and then I can add 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49. It really is just mind-blowing. It is to me, for a species that I'd wanted to look for and find and in Nottinghamshire for a number of years. It's not been in the UK that long. And to find Platybunus pinetorum as new to Nottinghamshire just a couple of years ago, and then finding 100, just over 100 or so in a search a couple of years ago here, that 100 figure is going to be dwarfed because I'm still 50 yards from the car and I've only just come through a narrow passage. But what does seem obvious, I've been looking on other trees, I haven't found any on other trees. They've all been on this smooth bark of the beech. So we're up to 49. I need to get a move on before it rains. I love days and events like this. There's 14 just on that beach. It's incredible. It really is. And this is the habitat. You get less in the areas where there's bramble understory developing. It's more where it's bare or where it's just bluebells. This is a great bluebell wood, as I've showed before. Absolutely incredible. Now I'll try and keep this as steady as possible and I'll show you. This is the trunk that I've just looked at. We have one there. There is another just there. Another just there. One right on the edge of the trunk there. If we go up, there's another. Here's two. There are two more just there, one below that sort of ridge and one just above it and to the right. Don't think, yeah, we counted that one. Didn't count that one. Or that one. Or those two, one of which is running off. Or that one. or that one, or that one, or that one, or those two. I think that's it. It isn't. That one. And I know one ran when I initially checked this, it went down and off the trunk. I don't know how many that was. I'm going to have to count them again. As you might have gathered, I do love this species. It's a beautifully marked Harvestman. We're up to 75 count of now, and this is an adult. They do become greyer, as you can see. They lose, or tend to lose, that sort of chestnut brownish colouring on the back end of the body, and overall become more grey, but they retain that dark saddle shape on the rear end of the body. Beautiful things with that chestnut ocularum, not typically well showed in that individual. Anyway, on with the count of these fabulous arachnids. And at last, here's one in a different situation. You may well recognise the bark as being pine, and you would think that, having the scientific name Platybunus pinetorum, that pine would be its favoured tree, but it's anything but that. I've now found 103, and this is the first one that I've found on pine. I don't tend to look very closely on pine, but at last we've found one. I certainly think there is a preference for smooth bark trees, that's without a doubt, and I'm glad that there is, because they're certainly easier to find. So we're on 103, and I've only covered a tiny fraction, nowhere near as big an area as I did a couple of years ago when I had just over 100, but what a beauty! Well, back almost at the car now. I've ended up with 131 Platybunus pinetorum, and that's within a very small area. If the whole of this strip of woodland could be covered, I think you could be looking at close on 500 individuals here. But I'm happy with 131. I don't think there's been anywhere near that single site count anywhere else in the UK. Nottinghamshire is doing well, but there again, Nottinghamshire's got people looking for this Harvestman. This is the ideal habitat, side of a main road with a lay-by close by. That's quite significant. Smooth bark trees, beech definitely seems strongly favoured rather than rough bark trees, although the Harvestman obviously does occur on all trees, but there's a big preference for beech. Some work actually for the statisticians if you wanted to come out and count them and then work out which trees are favoured, but I could tell you that beech by about 80%, and then about 10% sweet chestnut. There's a few sweet chestnuts here, that's smooth barked. There's a smooth barked variety of oak which would make up a few more percent, and then the ordinary Quercus robur and pine would make up a very tiny percentage of the overall total. So it's a great place to drop in if you want to see Platybunus pinetorum. You're northbound on the A614 at Clumber Park, and it's a couple of hundred yards north of the Clumber Hotel. Easy access, pull in lay-by, walk 10 yards towards that tree in particular and you'll see 8 on there, but the highlight for me has to be 18 individuals on one tree. Stunning. It's absolutely brilliant, this hobby, I tell you.